Hello, I'm Larry Menti, and this is another thing. Peanut allergies have been a growing problem in America and have caused fear and confusion at schools, hospitals, and with new parents. The guidelines have been to not give peanuts to your child unless he or she is 3 years old. But now, in a stunning reversal, pediatricians recommend that you introduce your infants to peanuts before they're 6 months old. So why the change? That's our lead topic. And we begin with Kolodziej. Ellen.
Thank you, Larry. For years, doctors have been telling parents to avoid giving their kids any kind of peanut products until they were at least 2 years old. I know I waited until my kids were 3 to give them any peanut butter. Now researchers are telling parents to throw everything we've learned out the window. And that comes as a real shock for parents who've been struggling with their kids' peanut allergies.
You worry, did I make the wrong decision, and did I cause my son to have peanut allergies by not giving him anything with peanuts for so long? You know, I always worry, what did I do to cause this?
Dina Smith struggles every day with making sure her son Aiden doesn't come in contact with even the tiniest amount of peanuts.
It's hard to travel, especially when he's little. They want to go to parties, they want to have cake, and they can't usually. It's hard because you want to keep your child safe, but you also don't want to make it everybody else's problem.
It has been everyone's problem for years because everyone knows someone with a severe peanut allergy. But now millions of moms and dads are reeling from the latest guidelines. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases recommend giving babies peanut powder or extract before they're 6 months old. The goal is that introducing kids to peanuts early will help others avoid what Aiden Smith has dealt with his whole life.
I don't even think about it anymore because it's just second nature.
Second nature to bring his EpiPen everywhere, just in case he comes in contact with peanuts that could cost him his life. It's also become second nature for friends, teachers, and classmates who've helped make it a little easier over the years.
It's unbelievable what people will do, people that you barely know. So there's extremes. There are some people that let you know you're really inconveniencing me, and then there's some parents that you're just, oh my goodness, just really go out of their way, and it is heartwarming.
So the researchers behind this new push for peanuts hope that these new guidelines will drastically reduce the number of kids with severe peanut allergies. And they say they're even hopeful that the ban on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in lunchrooms across the country could soon be a thing of the past. Reporting for Another Thing, I'm Kolodziej.
All right, thank you, Ellen. To talk more about this new discovery is Dr. Sher, who is an allergist and asthma doctor in Ocean, New Jersey with the Allergy Partners. I got that right. How exciting is this?
This is a very exciting development. We are virtually on the cusp of being able to prevent peanut allergies in children.
And really it gets to that? Because my feeling was that it didn't work with everybody. Are you saying it could work with everybody?
That is correct. During the study that was done, the big study that was published in February of 2015 called the LEAP study, the reduction in peanut allergy was 86%.
Oh,
they
wow.
took children, 640 children between the ages of 4 months and 11 months, and these children were all high risk for developing peanut allergy. The children that they chose that they considered to be the most high risk for the development of peanut allergy either had severe eczema, egg allergy in infancy, or both. And these children were told to either strictly avoid peanut, which was what had been practiced for years and years and years. Don't introduce peanut until age 3. Mm-hmm. And the other half of the children, so 50% were practicing avoidance, and the other half were told to introduce peanut between the ages of 4 months and 11 months. And then they needed to continue to consume an average of about 6 grams per week, or 2 grams 3 times per week, to try to prevent them from developing peanut allergy. They followed these children now for 60 months, 5 years. And then at the end of that time frame, they actually conducted oral peanut challenges on the children. And they found that there was an 86% reduction in the development of peanut allergy in the children that were consuming peanut on a regular basis compared with the children that were practicing strict avoidance.
And that was the study that ended up coming up with new guidelines that are now being accepted by
Correct.
pediatricians across the country. What are those new guidelines exactly?
So the guidelines are actually divided into 3 different groups.
Okay.
The very high-risk children, which are the children, again, that have severe eczema, egg allergy, or both. The moderate at-risk children, and those are children that have moderate eczema, and then the low-risk children. But in all of those categories, it is recommended that peanut be introduced on an earlier basis, especially in the high-risk kids. Typically between 4 and 6 months age is when the recommendation should start for introducing peanut. And then again, you don't want to just introduce peanut and then stop giving it, because you could be sensitizing the children in that way. You want to introduce the peanut and then administer it 3 times a week or more.
And it's important to point out, when you say introduce the peanut, you're not talking about peanuts, whole
Correct.
peanuts.
That's actually a really important point, is you do not want to give peanuts, whole peanuts, to a young child because of the choking risk. So you need to introduce it either in, you can use peanut butter, but in that case, in a young baby, we would recommend diluting it with hot water and then letting it cool before you feed it to your child and mixing it into a softer slurry. Or there's a cereal that's used a lot in Europe called Bamba, and they're like peanut puffs. And unfortunately, the child needs to eat 21 pieces of this to equal 2 grams of peanuts. So that's a lot of Bamba.
But what you
they
found out, the babies love it.
They love it. They just chomp on it and they love it. And that's a really good way to get the peanut protein into the children at a young age. And there's a bunch of different ways that your healthcare provider can recommend. But also, I should make it clear that at the age of 4 to 6 months, or between 4 and 11 months, some of these children might already be allergic to peanut. So if you're concerned that your child might already be allergic to peanut, especially if they're high risk, it probably is a good idea to refer those particular children to a specialist to be tested first before you just introduce it, because introducing it into those high-risk children without testing them first could be dangerous.
I would imagine that everything you do, even if you follow the guidelines, should be done in concert with the recommendations of a pediatrician.
Yes, absolutely. Your pediatrician should definitely be involved, and the more high-risk kids refer to a specialist, but obviously you're not going to refer every child between the ages of 4 to 6 months for peanut introduction to a specialist. So the moderate-risk children and the low-risk children could definitely be managed by their pediatrician, and the pediatrician definitely should be involved in this.
What you're talking about is prevention.
Correct.
You're not talking about children that already have developed a peanut allergy.
Exactly.
What about them?
I would like to definitely make that distinction, that this study and the recent guidelines that were published by the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Diseases specifically is dealing with children to prevent the development of peanut allergy. For children that are already peanut allergic, we have some other really exciting things going on. We are doing something called OIT, which is oral immunotherapy for peanut. There's also a peanut patch coming out, and we're trying to actually desensitize these children to peanut once they're already allergic, to allow them to be able to tolerate small amounts, or just to prevent them from having serious reactions with accidental exposures.
So we could probably do another entire segment on just that. I appreciate that. This really is amazing. I love what you said at the very beginning, that we might be able to all but eliminate peanut allergies in this country,
yes.
And that's exciting news.
Very exciting.
Because I know so many parents, I mean, they live with this every single day. They have to worry about this every single day.
It's very serious.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Dr. Ellen Sher, allergist and asthma doctor, Ocean, New Jersey Allergy Partners. When we come back, the effects of childhood trauma on adults, when Another Thing continues.